This is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, here with another Friday Reads. But first, just a quick reminder, the annual Big Book Summer Reading Challenge is in full swing now. We've already got a lot of bloggers, booktubers, and readers of all kinds signed up and enjoying the fun. The idea is very simple. Any book of 400 or more pages counts as a big book. You can read just one or two or however many you want, and you've got until early September, the whole summer. So it's very easygoing. You set your own goals. I'll include all the details below. There's a link to my Big Book Summer introductory video and also a link to my blog with the details on the different ways to sign up. It's very simple. So check that out, and I hope you'll join the fun. So for my own reading, this week I took a break from my stack of big books to read one last book club selection before my book group takes a summer hiatus. We are reading The Mighty Queens of Freeville, A Mother, a Daughter, and the Town That Raised Them by Amy Dickinson. So you may recognize her name. She is the famous Ask Amy advice columnist. And this is a memoir. So I'm not actually familiar with the Ask Amy column because our newspaper doesn't carry it. So I'd never read anything from her before, though I did know who she was because, well, first, she's everywhere, but also she occasionally is one of the guests on an NPR news quiz called Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, which is a hilarious show. So I knew she was funny, and that definitely comes across in her memoir. But her memoir is also very open and honest. It begins just after her very unexpected divorce, which leaves her as a single mother with a toddler. So Amy returns home to her small rural town of Freeville in upstate New York. Just to heal and be surrounded by family. Now, her family happens to be a lot of women. Her daughter's the one who dubbed them the Mighty Queens of Freeville. And not only, so she's got a lot of aunts and sisters and cousins, her mother, and not only that, but many of the women in her family have themselves been divorced and were or are single mothers. So Amy finds herself in good company and in a nice environment to heal and decide what comes next with her life. She's very honest in the memoir with everything from her disastrous dating life to the challenges of raising her daughter alone, to the strange way she just sort of fell into, being Ask Amy. So I'm really enjoying this book right now. It's warm, it's funny, it's engaging. This is one of those books I probably wouldn't have picked up on my own, but I'm really enjoying it. So to me, that's one of the great things about book groups. You end up reading books you might not read on your own. On audio, I am listening to a big book, The 7 or 8 Deaths of Stella Fortuna by Julia Grames. I started this one right at the beginning of Big Book Summer. It's the story of an extraordinary woman named Stella who has somehow survived 7 or maybe 8 near-death experiences, many of them when she was very young. So as the novel opens, it's actually set in modern times in Connecticut, and a relative of Stella's has just finished visiting the now elderly Stella and her elderly and now estranged sister Tina. So this relative then goes back and begins telling Stella's life story to the reader. Stella's life began in World War I times in a tiny, remote, mountainous village in Italy. Stella had a hard life as a child for the most part. Her father was mean, angry, and often just abandoned the family. for the first time when he was sent away during the war, but then he just did it on his own later. The family has very little means of support, but somehow, you know, they are happy. Stella had warm, wonderful relationships with her mother and her siblings and other extended family members. And integrated into the story, of course, are these times when Stella faced death and survived. So where I am right now in the book, the family is just boarding a ship for America. They're emigrating because her father demanded that they join him in America. So far, it's very, very good. It's engrossing. The setting really comes alive. It'll be interesting now as I move from Italy to America. It's beautifully written and a very immersive story, so I'm enjoying that. So that's what I'm reading right now. What are you reading this weekend? Let me know in the comments down below.